This is the 2024 Lexus GX550, and it has a ladder frame, running gear, and a powertrain which is very similar to the LX600. It's been completely redesigned for 2024, and so today I'm going to test it and see how much of an improvement it is over the outgoing GX470. So the GX470 was really a less capable and less luxurious version of Toyota's 4Runner, and you rarely saw them on a dirt trail. Instead, they were at the mall or at soccer practice. But in later years, those 470s were snapped up by folks that wanted to do more serious off-roading. So this one is really cool looking. It's got much more road presence than its predecessor. To me, it looks a little bit like a Yeti cooler on wheels. Anyway, they come in three distinct flavors. You can get a premium, which is this one. You can also get a luxury, and then you can also get the hardcore off-roader, the Overtrail. Each one comes in a plus trim. So this one, in fact, is a premium plus. You get a few more bells and whistles than you would on the standard base model premium trim. So if you get anything other than the Overtrail model, you do miss out on some of the fancy off-road kit. Obviously, you miss out on the EKDSS fancy suspension. You don't get multi-terrain select. You don't get crawl control with turn assist. You don't get hill descent control, and you don't get a rear locker. But you do get, on this one, which is a Premium Plus, a center locker and low and high range. So with limited overhangs, this one has a 26-degree approach angle, a 23-degree breakover, and a 23 departure angle at the back, making this one, even though it has regular on-road tires, it's actually pretty good off-road. You can probably tell because it is quite dirty. We'll show that footage a little bit later. So it also has a lower belt line, which really helps with visibility. So these windows are a lot deeper than you would normally see. Really good views all around the car, especially from the front, because the front is really sculpted. So while you're driving, you get a really good view of what's happening in front of you. Now, it does have cameras, but it's really nice sometimes to just see exactly what's going on, particularly if you're on an incline going up and you can't really see. This has great visibility. And then look at this, a Lexus spindle grille that's actually smaller than its predecessor. Maybe BMW should learn from Lexus. You also get triple beam LED headlights and LED fog lights as well as standard. Can anybody guess where they've seen these mirrors from before? Yeah, correct. From the FJ Cruiser. It's a nod to the FJ Cruiser, and I really like that it did this. They also sit quite low as well, again, helping with visibility from the side. So at the rear, if you can see past the dust, it is big and boxy, and tell me that it doesn't look very similar to the LX600 as well. It looks quite tall from the back. So in my opinion, this is the only wrong move that Lexus has made here. I mean, what is that? It's actually the trailer hitch cover, but I think if it was painted red, it would look like a baboon's arse. So rear tailgate is powered. You also get to open this glass as well, which is a pretty common feature in Toyotas. And if you open this up, you get about 10.3 cubic feet of space behind the third row, or a small Greyhound. Can put these seats down, obviously. They are powered. That will give you about 40 cubes in the back, pretty decent, although these seats do take up some space because they go into the floor. Put the bench down, second row bench, you get around 77 cubic feet of space. So it's pretty big. So if you want to tow anything, you can tow up to around 8,000 pounds. Now at the front, you get a double wishbone suspension system, and there's a 4-link coiled springs at the back. This one's got these 20-inch wheels. It runs these 265/55 Yokohama Geolanders. These are pretty good tires. Front discs are 13.9, rear discs are 13.2 inches. Under the hood is Toyota's twin-turbo 6-cylinder engine, and it's a good one. It's the same one that's used in a number of different vehicles, including the LX600. In the LX600, though, it has 405 horsepower. In this one, it has 349, so a little bit detuned, but the torque numbers are the same. 479 foot-pounds of torque, driven through an excellent 10-speed automatic transmission. 0 to 60 takes around 6.5 seconds, and expect a couple of miles per gallon better on the highway. This car has a base price of $67,900. The premium top of the range one costs you around $82,000, and then the Overtrail is a shade under $70,000. But this one has a number of options. Those options include a head-up display, cold air package, a tonneau cover, digital key with smart access, front cross traffic alert, lane change assist, and driver attention monitor. That total price, including destination, is $71,455. So in this Premium S configuration, you get this rear bench seating for 3. If you pay a little bit more money, you can get the captain's chairs, which I actually prefer. So in this one, obviously, you get an armrest with a couple of cup holders, 2 sets of power, and a control panel for your climate controls, and the outside 2 seats here are heated. You also get a decent amount of headroom. There's like a sculpted out section of roof right here, and this seat's quite a long way back, but I've got a decent amount of leg room, and overall quality is actually really, really good. All right, so once in the third row, you begin to realize how nice it is in the second row, because these are pretty small, really flat seats. There's only 2 of them. They actually disappear into the floor. I'll show you that mechanism in a second. Obviously, make sure that you put the headrest up. There is a control here, and the backrest is quite sort of upright. And there's a control here which will make it even more upright and even more uncomfortable. Not a lot of recline going on there. You've got power on both sides, 2 cup holders for each person, and then if you want to get out, which you're going to want to, you can push that forward. So how do you get the seats down? So control on my left here, press a button. As you can see, the seats fold into the floor. This one folds all the way down eventually. And then this one is the same thing. Quite slow and very deliberate. So it gives you a little bit of a sloping rear floor. It's not fully flat. So Lexus has completely redesigned the interior. Everything is new, new dash, new center console. Everything is new. These seats are amazingly comfortable. They are covered in this synthetic or faux leather. You need to step up to the higher trims, i.e. the luxury trims, to be able to get leather, but I don't think it's worth it because these are heated and they're cooled and they're supremely comfortable. You also get a leather covered steering wheel on this model as well. So part of the new dash is a very nicely integrated 14-inch touchscreen. It's huge, but very neatly positioned in the center of the dash. There's no need to stare and fiddle around with the menus for functions when you need them on the fly. There aren't totally physical control buttons for the climate control, but I'm okay with that because these are fairly easy to use. And then ahead of the driver, you get a 12.3-inch digital display. You can easily customize this. There's not really a lot of setup involved. On the left-hand side, I have it set with my average MPG, which is 18.4, which is something of a world record for me. I think I'm doing pretty good. Speedo front and center. You got some temperatures. You've also got some angles on the right-hand side, the 30-degree angle, to show you where you are as far as off-road, and we'll get into some off-road stuff later on. Engine temp, mileage, and also oil temp as well. Very nicely done. You also get a physical volume button, and then the vents are below that, and then down below here you've got a couple of USBs, and then this kind of looks weird. You think, oh, what's in here? So you open up this little door to reveal the 12 volt, which, to be honest, they're kind of ugly to look at. You just push that, and it closes right back up. Just move the shifter out of the way, and you've got your drive modes, which you can select using this. Traction control off, tow haul, and then ECT second. That's for also towing, where you start off in second gear. So there are 3 driving modes. Weirdly, they don't show in the main screen. Turn the wheel. You got eco, you got normal, and then sport. You get a nice shifter here, electronic parking brake, and hill hold assist. You also get 2 decent cup holders with a little cover over them, and then a wireless charger which works through my phone, but it is quite small. I don't know you'd get a really big phone in there. And then because this is a Premium Plus and not the Overtrail version, you don't get all the bells and whistles. So this is your center locker, and then you've got H4, push this button down, you can move it into L4, you got to be in neutral to do that. Lift up the armrest and you've got a pretty decent amount of space. All right, let's take it for a drive. We're on this sort of dirt road at the top of this mountain. We'll test it on a couple of hills. It does have street tires, so we'll exercise a little bit of caution. No skid plates, but I'm sure that this thing will pass any test we throw at it with flying colors. So I'm currently in eco mode. Why not? Sport mode does stiffen up the suspension a little bit. So this one's got the 20-inch wheels, so I don't think you need to really go any bigger with this car. All right, so we'll make our way up here and attack a bit of a hill. I'm not going to try the really steep hill that's over there because I just don't think this will make it. I mean, it probably would, but I don't want to damage it. That's my main issue. Plus, this is a prototype and I don't want to get stranded up here. It's 100 degrees today. So going into some soft sand, still in 4 high. Not really any problems at all in this section. All right, for this little hill, I want to put it into 4 low, so into neutral. Pre-collision brake system unavailable. It says 4 low in the dash. Put it into D. And off we go. So we don't get a choice of drive modes when we're in 4 low. It just goes with what it has. All right, off we go. This is far too easy for this car. I mean, it's just going up like it's nothing. Gently does it down the hill. Now I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go back the other way. And this does not have hill descent control, so we'll just go down on the brakes. Alright, let's go to the next challenge. Small little technical hill. Really tests out axle articulation. Like these tires too, these Geolanders, the Yokohamas. They're not true all-terrains, they're more all-seasons. They make a decent all-terrain tire as well. All right, there's my hill. We shall activate low range. Done. Pretty fast to do that. Doesn't take long. I mean, look at it, it's raring to go. Come on, give me this hill. All right, let's see if going slowly we get any wheel slip. Not even a hint of any wheel slip. I mean, it literally just laughed at that. A lot of cars tend to pick up a wheel. Yeah, it's picking up that back wheel, I think, but you know what? It's super controlled. All right, in the meantime, let's continue down here and test it out on some paved roads. Let's see how the Lexus goes. Okay, engaging sport mode. Off we go. Wow, this has got a ton of power. It's not like the old 470. Yeah, I mean, it feels like it'll do 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds, which is like a full second quicker than the old one. But you know, that's not the point. The main thing is, you know, how quick is it? 30 to 50, 50 to 70, you know, passing maneuvers, that kind of stuff. So in sport mode, the suspension definitely feels firmer, but it still rolls a little bit like a ship on the ocean. All right. Let's go where there isn't much traffic here and put it through some twisty turns. So you can hear that engine and it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty meaty. Definitely got plenty of power. It's going to be fast enough for most people. And you know what? It does okay in the turns. It's got a decent amount of poise. I mean, you got to turn the wheel quite a bit to hang on, but this car is not slow. And brakes are good. Need a little bit of a firm push, but I like how the brakes are. Well, I am suitably impressed with what Lexus has done with this car. Huge improvement. It's really good on-road, and it's good off-road as well. Great design. I really like the way it looks. This nori green, seaweed green, I love it. I'm just happy that I didn't get yet another gray car. So many gray cars are so boring. This one is not boring. So what do we think? Well, the much improved GX offers everything. It's on-road, it's off-road, it looks seriously cool. My only problem is, should I wait for the Land Cruiser? I know that has a 4-cylinder turbo, but it's also a really good looking car with probably even more off-road prowess on top of that. Anyway, I love this car, it's great. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video. Out.